Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, before we dive into today's video, I need to warn you about something. What I'm about to share with you could be dangerous. Not dangerous like don't try this at home, but dangerous to your old way of thinking. Because once you read these books, there's no going back. Today, I'm revealing 10 books that didn't just change my perspective, they completely hijacked my brain and rewired it from the inside out. And here's the scary part, they're probably going to do the same thing to you. These aren't your typical sit on the shelf and look pretty books. Oh no. These are the kind of books that grab you by the collar, shake you awake, and say, hey, you've been doing life all wrong. So buckle up, grab that notebook, and prepare yourself for some serious mind-bending. Trust me, your future self will either thank me or blame me entirely. Let's find out which one it'll be. Book 1, Atomic Habits by James Clear. First up is Atomic Habits by James Clear, and here's where things get a little sneaky. This book is basically a masterclass in tricking yourself into success. Sounds weird, right? But stick with me here. Picture this, there's someone who decides to put on running shoes every single day. That's literally it. No running required. Just shoes on feet.
Seems ridiculous, doesn't it? But here's the plot twist that'll blow your mind.
Within months, this person is running marathons. How did putting on shoes turn into Olympic-level endurance? It's like magic, except it's actually science. Clear reveals the secret formula called the 4 laws of behavior change, and honestly, it's so simple it's almost insulting to our intelligence. But here's the kicker, and this completely shattered everything I thought I knew about success.
Motivation is basically useless.
Yeah, you heard that right. All those motivational posters? Pretty much worthless.
The real secret, systems that work even when you feel like staying in bed.
And eating cereal for dinner. The most mind-blowing part? Getting just 1% better every day leads to being 37 times better by the end of the year. I know, math in a YouTube video, but trust me, this number will haunt your dreams in the best possible way. Book 2, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Now, Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is like getting a GPS for your entire life. And let me tell you, I desperately needed one because I was basically wandering around like a lost tourist in my own existence. Here's a funny truth, most of us are like that friend who refuses to ask for directions and ends up driving in circles for 3 hours. Meanwhile, highly effective people? They've got the map, the route planned, and they probably packed snacks for the journey too. Covey drops this bombshell concept called, begin with the end in mind. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. This innocent little phrase will make you question every single decision you've ever made. Seriously, I spent a week just staring at walls after reading this, wondering what the heck I was actually trying to accomplish with my life. But here's where it gets really interesting, and slightly terrifying. This book transforms you from someone who just reacts to whatever life throws at you, like a human pinball, into someone who actually steers their life intentionally. It's the difference between being a passenger on the crazy train of life versus being the conductor who actually knows where the train is going.
Warning, side effects may include taking responsibility for your actions
and making actual progress toward your goals. Use with caution. Book 3, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho is either the most beautiful fairy tale for adults or a cosmic conspiracy theory disguised as literature. I'm still not entirely sure which one it is. Here's the story, a young shepherd decides to chase a recurring dream across deserts, through dangerous territories, and past every reasonable person telling him he's absolutely insane. Sound familiar? It's basically every entrepreneur's origin story. But here's where it gets spooky. Coelho suggests,
when you're truly committed to your dreams, the entire universe starts plotting to help you succeed.
I know, it sounds like something your overly optimistic aunt would say, but I've experienced this firsthand and it's genuinely unsettling. Doors start opening in the weirdest ways. The right people appear at exactly the right moments. Opportunities show up like they've been stalking you on social media. It's either cosmic magic or really good luck, but either way, it's pretty darn effective. The plot twist?
Your heart knows things your brain doesn't.
Which is both inspiring and slightly concerning when you think about it. Who's really in charge here anyway? Book 4, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years interviewing over 500 millionaires for Think and Grow Rich. 20 years. That's longer than most people spend in school, and infinitely more profitable. Now, here's a story that'll keep you up at night. There was once a miner who quit digging just 3 feet away from striking gold. 3 feet. Can you imagine? He was probably home complaining about his bad luck while sitting on top of a fortune. It's like leaving a movie theater 2 minutes before the plot twist that explains everything. But Hill discovered something both hilarious and terrifying about wealthy people. They all share this one crazy belief.
What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Now, before you roll your eyes and click away, consider this, what if they're right? What if the only thing standing between you and success is your own disbelief? That's either the most empowering or most frightening thought ever, depending on how you look at it. Here's the secret sauce he'll uncovered.
Wealth starts as a thought, grows into desire, develops into faith, and then manifests into reality.
It's like the law of attraction, but with better documentation and fewer crystals. Book 5, Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. The Japanese have this concept called Ikigai, which basically translates to
Ikigai, your reason for being.
And honestly, after learning about this, I realized most of us have been living like GPS systems with dead batteries. We're moving, but we have no idea where we're going. Picture this, imagine never feeling lost or confused because you always know exactly where you're headed and why. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, the Japanese people in Okinawa are living to 100 plus years and loving every minute of it, so maybe they're onto something. Here's the mind-bending part, Ikigai isn't about avoiding problems or chasing happiness like some kind of emotional treasure hunt. Instead, it's about finding that sweet spot where what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for all overlap. The plot twist? Most of us spend our entire lives in just one or two of these circles, wondering why we feel incomplete. It's like trying to sit on a three-legged chair, technically possible, but you're going to fall over eventually. And here's the kicker that'll make you question everything.
Happiness isn't the goal, purpose is.
Happiness is just a delightful side effect. Mind blown. Book 6, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Now, Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning is going to hit you like a philosophical freight train, and I need to prepare you for this one. Frankl survived the Holocaust, the absolute worst of human experience, and discovered something that will fundamentally challenge how you view every bad day you've ever had. In the concentration camps, he observed that the prisoners who survived weren't necessarily the physically strongest or the most optimistic.
They were the ones who found meaning in their suffering.
Here's the part that's going to mess with your head. Frankl helped other prisoners endure unimaginable circumstances not by trying to eliminate their pain, but by helping them find purpose within it. It's like he discovered the ultimate life hack in the darkest possible circumstances. The mindset shift this creates is both liberating and slightly uncomfortable.
Life isn't about avoiding suffering, it's about finding meaning in it.
And using that meaning as rocket fuel for an extraordinary life. Warning, this book will make you feel silly for complaining about Wi-Fi being slow or your coffee being cold, but it will also give you the mental strength to handle pretty much anything life throws at you. Book 7, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad is basically a financial education system disguised as a family story, and it's going to make you question everything your parents taught you about money. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Picture this scenario, you're standing at a crossroads with two paths. One sign says work hard, get good grades, find a secure job, the path your parents probably recommended. The other sign says
make money work for you while you sleep.
Which sounds too good to be true but somehow isn't. Here's where it gets interesting, and slightly infuriating. Kiyosaki had two father figures, his biological dad, Poor Dad, who worked incredibly hard but stayed financially stressed, and his best friend's dad, Rich Dad, who seemed to effortlessly build wealth. The plot twist that'll keep you up at night? It wasn't about how much they earned, it was about how they thought about money. One saw money as something to work for, the other saw money as a tool to create freedom. The most mind-bending revelation?
Assets put money in your pocket, liabilities take money out.
Sounds obvious, right? Wrong. Your house isn't an asset, it's actually a liability. I know, your real estate agent is probably crying somewhere, but hear me out. This book will either inspire you to completely change your financial strategy or make you want to hide under a blanket and pretend money doesn't exist. There's really no middle ground here. Book 8, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle is going to blow your mind in the most zen way possible. It's like meditation meets philosophy meets that moment when you finally understand a magic trick. Here's a scenario that'll hit way too close to home. Life is like a train ride, but most of us spend the entire journey either staring out the back window at where we've been or anxiously looking ahead at where we're going. Meanwhile, there's this incredible scenery passing by right outside our windows that we're completely missing. Tolle drops this truth bomb that's both simple and revolutionary.
All your anxiety, stress, and unhappiness come from living anywhere except the present moment.
Past regrets? Present moment problem. Future worries? Also a present moment problem. Here's the part that's going to sound crazy until you try it.
True happiness isn't something you find, it's something that's available right now.
In this exact moment, if you just stop running away from it. The plot twist? Your mind is basically a hyperactive monkey that won't stop chattering about everything except what's actually happening right now. And once you realize this, you can't unsee it. It's like discovering you've been carrying around a loud, opinionated roommate in your head this whole time. Warning, this book may cause sudden outbreaks of peace and contentment. Use responsibly. Book 9, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari tells the story of a successful lawyer who basically had what we'd call a quarter-life crisis on steroids and decided to completely flip his life upside down. Picture this, a guy who has everything our society says should make him happy, money, status, a fancy car, hence the Ferrari, suddenly realizes he's absolutely miserable. So what does he do? He sells everything and goes off to learn from monks in the Himalayas. I know, it sounds like the plot of a movie starring someone like Matthew McConaughey. But here's where it gets interesting, and maybe a little uncomfortable for those of us still chasing traditional success. This lawyer discovered that everything he thought was making him successful was actually making him sick, stressed, and spiritually bankrupt. The monks taught him something that'll make you question your entire to-do list.
True success isn't measured by your bank account, your job title, or how many followers you have on social media. It's about living a meaningful, balanced life where you actually enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Here's the kicker that might make you want to reevaluate your priorities. Sometimes less really is more.
Sometimes the things we're working so hard to get are the very things keeping us from what we actually want: peace, happiness, and genuine fulfillment. Plot twist, you don't have to sell your Ferrari and become a monk, but you might want to ask yourself what your Ferrari actually is and whether it's driving you toward happiness or away from it. Book 10, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Finally, we have Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and this book is basically a psychological bootcamp that'll make you question everything you think you know about human limitations. Goggins once ran 100 miles with broken feet. Let me repeat that, 100 miles. With broken feet. Now, before you think he's just completely insane, consider this: he did it to prove a point that's going to mess with your head. Here's the story that'll haunt your excuses forever. Goggins grew up overweight, dealing with abuse, and failing at pretty much everything. He was living proof that some people just aren't built for success. Then he decided to become a Navy SEAL, then an ultra-marathon runner, then one of the toughest humans on the planet. The plot twist that's going to destroy every excuse you've ever made?
Most of the limits we think we have are completely self-imposed.
Our minds are capable of pushing our bodies and our lives far beyond what we think is possible. But here's the part that's both inspiring and slightly terrifying. Goggins discovered that when we stop running from discomfort and start embracing it, we unlock capabilities we never knew existed. It's like finding out you've been living in the basement of a mansion your whole life. The mindset shift is brutal but brilliant.
Your mind will quit 1,000 times before your body actually needs to stop.
Every time you think you've reached your limit, you're probably only at about 40% of what you're actually capable of. Warning, this book may cause sudden urges to do things you previously thought were impossible. Side effects may include canceled Netflix subscriptions and a mysterious desire to wake up at 4 a.m. Conclusion: so there you have it, 10 books that will completely hijack your brain and reprogram your entire approach to life. Each one is like a different key that unlocks a door you didn't even know existed in your mind. But here's the real question, and this is where the suspense reaches its peak.
So, which one of these mental time bombs are you brave enough to detonate first?
Because once you pick up that first book, there's no going back. You'll become one of those people who actually believes they can change their life, achieve their goals, and live with purpose. Drop a comment below and let me know which book you're brave enough to start with. Are you going to ease into it with some habit formation, or are you going to go full Goggins and jump straight into the deep end of mental toughness? If this video just gave you a reading list that's going to keep you busy for the next year, smash that like button. It lets me know you're ready for more mind-bending book recommendations. And if you want to join this community of people who are crazy enough to think books can actually change lives, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. But fair warning, once you start down this path of reading books that actually matter, you might become one of those people who talks about personal development at parties. Don't say I didn't warn you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, assuming these books don't completely transform you.